All right, let's talk about something that so many of us feel but can't quite put a finger on. It's called the salary trap. And trust me, once you see how this thing works, you'll never be able to unsee it.
Have you ever thought this to yourself? It's that nagging feeling, right? You look at your bank account, you know you're climbing the ladder, your salary is going up, but the stress, it's not going anywhere. It feels like you're just treading water.
So here's the kicker. The most important thing you need to hear. That feeling, it is not your fault. This isn't some personal failure. Nope, it's the result of a really, really cleverly designed system. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and expose it, piece by piece.
Okay, let's dive into the first part of this trap. We're calling it money fragmentation. This is basically how the system invisibly carves up your paycheck before you even get a chance to think about it. So to make this super clear, let's meet Sarah. Now on paper, Sarah is crushing it. She's a high earner, successful, good job. I mean, by all accounts, she should be building some serious wealth. But her reality, well, it tells a very, very different story.
Okay, so Sarah gets paid every 2 weeks, right? After tax, she's taking home about $2,400. But just look at where it all goes. Almost half, bam, gone to rent. Then you've got the car, the groceries, utilities, and by the time all those automatic, pre-committed bills are paid, she's left with $48. $48 for the next 2 weeks. Wild.
And this is where the psychological genius of the trap really shines. See, Sarah isn't struggling in the traditional sense. She's got a nice apartment, a decent car, she can go out to eat. She's comfortable. And that comfort, it's like a painkiller. It's just enough to numb you so you don't ask the really dangerous question. Wait a minute. With all this money coming in, why am I not actually getting any richer?
All right, so fragmentation is how the system hooks you. How does it keep you on the line? That brings us to trap number 2, the golden handcuffs.
You know, there's actually a name for this. It's called lifestyle inflation. And we've all felt it, right? It's that totally natural urge to upgrade everything the second you get a raise. Oh, a bigger paycheck? Time for a better apartment. A newer car, fancier vacations? It feels like you're leveling up. But what's really happening is those handcuffs are just getting tighter.
This comparison right here just lays it all out. So let's say you're making $60K, your rent is maybe $1,200. Then you get that big promotion. You're up to $90K. Awesome, right? But what happens? Suddenly your rent is $1,600. Your car payment creeps up a little. And the end result? That super important gap between what you earn and what you spend, the only place where you can actually build wealth, it barely moves an inch.
Or take a look at David. He gets a $20,000 raise. You'd think he'd be popping champagne, right? But it's almost instant. The landlord raises the rent, the mortgage payment goes up, his kid suddenly needs braces. Poof, that entire raise just gets swallowed whole by new obligations. And his stress level stays exactly the same. It's crazy.
So listen, this is the key takeaway. It's a complete mindset shift. A big salary does not equal freedom. In fact, if you're not careful, it's the opposite. Real freedom, true financial freedom, is only ever determined by one thing: the size of the gap between what you make and what you spend. That's it. That's the whole game.
So this all begs a pretty huge question, doesn't it? Why? Why is everything set up this way? Is there some motive behind this whole financial maze? Well, the short answer is, you bet there is. The goal, the whole point, is to create predictable, controllable consumers. Think about it. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, even if it's a huge paycheck, you're stuck. You're predictable. You can't afford to take a risk, like quitting your job to start that business you've been dreaming of. Why? Because you need that next paycheck to pay for the lifestyle you've built. You become a guaranteed customer for your landlord, for the bank, for the car company. Okay, so I'm going to ask you something directly, and I want you to be really honest with yourself. If you quit your job tomorrow, just walked away, how many months could you survive? 1 month, 3, 6? What's your number?
For most people, the answer is pretty terrifying. Get this, studies show that over 60% of professionals are one single month away from a financial crisis if they lose their paycheck. Just let that sink in, 60%. That's one bad month away from total disaster.
You know, we're always told that a high-paying, stable job is security. But let's be real. If you're just 1 month away from a crisis, is that really security? Or is it something else entirely? The material we're looking at today calls it a comfortable prison. And honestly, it's kind of hard to argue with that, isn't it?
Okay, deep breath. We've exposed the trap, we see how it works, so now for the most important part. How do we break free?
Let's walk through the escape plan together. It really boils down to 4 key steps. Number 1, we've got to really understand the difference between income and wealth. They are not the same thing. 2, we have to intentionally, aggressively attack that gap. 3, we redirect all the money from that gap into assets. And finally, the end game, building what's called financial optionality.
Okay, let's zoom in on that first step because it is absolutely crucial. Income is what you trade your time for. It's temporary. It keeps you busy. Wealth, on the other hand, comes from your assets. It works for you. It's way more permanent, and its only job is to make you free. We've been programmed our whole lives to chase income, but the real goal needs to be building wealth.
And this is what it's all about. Building that buffer. Your first major goal should be to have 3 to 6 months of your expenses saved up. And listen, this isn't just savings. This is power. Pure and simple. It's the power to negotiate a raise without fear. The power to leave a job you hate. The power to choose. That's what it is. It's freedom.
So let's end on this one core idea, because it's everything. The entire salary trap is designed to make you confuse comfort with freedom. It gives you just enough comfort to make you forget you're not actually free. A nice car? That's comfort. But the ability to walk away from your job tomorrow without panicking, that is freedom.
Look, once you see the bars, you can't unsee them. But the good news is, that's when you can start planning your escape. So this isn't just some interesting idea anymore. Now that you see the system, now that you understand the game, the only question left is, what's the first thing you're going to change?